නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. In the discussion number 1, dated 5th of February 2018, we dealt with Suddhasaka or pure eightfold groups which constitute the dead matter in the universe, and then the Jivita Navakakalapaya or the ninefold vitality group that constitute the living beings. We should talk about matter or the Rupa to a certain extent to enter the discussion on consciousness and mental factors in the universe. The matter which we have so far discussed is twofold as great essentials and material phenomena derived from those great essentials. Of all these ultimate realities of matter, only one derivative or color derivative is visible to us. These great essentials are Mahabhuta, while material phenomena are Upadaya Rupa in Pali. When enumerating the parts of matter we have so far discussed, in Asuddhastaka there are 4 derivatives which should be thoroughly explained. One or color is found in every Suddhastaka, but some colors are so light or transparent that they are not visible to the man's naked eye. In every Suddhasaka there is another derivative named Gandha or smell. It is too found in every pure eightfold group, but some fragrance or smell cannot be scented by the nose of human beings. According to the scientists, there are odorless gases, but it is not true. In every gas there is an odor, but the human beings can't scent that odor because it is so feeble. Then comes the taste. We always experience so many tasteless things in the world. You may say by licking some articles around with your tongue that it is tasteless, but in accordance with the Lord Buddha's teachings, through abhidamma there is taste in everything, as it is a derivative of Mahabhuta or the 4 great essentials. The exception is that most tastes in substances cannot be tested by human's tongue. Some tastes are not dissolved in the saliva of the mouth. Then comes the oja or the nutritive essence in the pure eightfold group. This matter is intangible and cannot be felt by any sense organ. It helps keep the 4 great essentials and 3 derivatives in the pure eightfold group without spoiling, contaminating, and ruining. During its existence of 51 tiny instants or small thought movements. In this discussion, we are going to step onto the very important section in the group of matter, the prasada rupa or sensitivity. First of all, we should discuss what we mean by prasada rupa. They are the sensitive parts of 5 organs. This is some kind of shine or an oily area in the eye, in the ear, in the nose, in the tongue, and in the body. We the living beings receive these sensitive areas because of the apparent willingness we maintained in our previous life or bhava to see, to hear, to taste, to scent, and to feel. This special shine is called opaya in Sinhala language. This opaya or shine is used to obtain objects of aramana in Pali as color, sound, smell, taste, and tangibles. In living beings, these organs can be seen in full form. Unless the organs have the sensitivity or the upaya or the prasada rupaya, we cannot see, hear, smell, taste, or feel with these organs. Even after birth, during the course of one's life, due to some resultant consciousness or vipaka chitta, one may become blind, deaf, etc., as one has lost those shine in organs. Sometimes these organs are replaced through surgeries. Even for such changes, there should be merits remaining with one to have such changes. Now it is time for us to take these organs one by one to see the areas in them where the sensitivity remains. The eye sensitivity or the chakku prasada rupa is the one which we should discuss firstly. Everybody knows most of living beings in the world, other than some insects, have two eyes in their bodies. These two eyes are actually eyeballs which comprise of several layers. Now we take one human eyeball for analysis. In this eyeball to the most interior there exist 7 layers to the size of a head of a louse. On these 7 layers there exists an oily area which is called opaya in Sinhala. This is a shine which receives color signals from outside. In the modern medical science, this is defined as follows. At the back of the eyeball, there is a layer called retina whose cells are sensitive to light and triggers nerve impulses that pass via optic nerve to the brain, where images are formed. This small shiny oily area is formed up of 4 basic elements or great essentials or 4 mahabhutas, 4 derivatives and 1 vitality, 1 chakku sensitivity. So it is quite clear that whole of the eyeball does not comprise of chakku sensitivity or chakku prasada. In the other area where that eye sensitivity or chakku prasada rupaya is not found, suddhastaka vitality and body sensitivity or kaya prasada rupaya in Pali can be found. Then it too becomes the tenfold group of body sensitivity, body decade or the kaya dasaka kalapaya. While that small area with chakku prasadaya is called tenfold group of eye sensitivity, eye decade or the chakku dasaka kalapaya. This chakku dasaka kalapaya or the area where that shine remains is the basis of eye consciousness, chakku vijnana, and becomes the device or the instrument for the eye door thought process. What is this eye door? This area of the eye is compared to a door due to the fact that the color element from outside comes in contact with the shine at the back of the eyeball and travels to the heart base through several stages of consciousness. So eye sensitivity becomes a door or a dwar. So do the ear, nose, tongue, and body sensitivities. Now we should again talk why we take so much enthusiasm and interest in learning the formation of the sensitive eye from the composite eye or the sasambara chakku. The other parts of the eyeball other than the area with shine belong to the composite eye. The living being receive forms or pictures from the eye sensitivity and take moral or immoral steps towards meritorious or demeritorious deeds and lengthen their lives through rebirth in samsara. So this eye sensitivity is one of the most important commencing points of committing sins or merits. The ear is the organ in the human body which is used to be aware of the sound. The ear sensitivity or the sota prasada does not exist in the whole organ. Just as in the eyeball in the ear cavity too, the sensitivity which attracts or identifies the sound is equal to a ring in appearance and is situated in the depth of the ear cavity. Human beings receive this shine in the ear sensitivity as a result of his or her apparent willingness to hear sounds. The sound enters through the hole in the ear, touches the sensitivity, and there produces a figureless signal which would definitely direct the owner of the ear to do moral or immoral act. For an example, we can take one hunter who has gone on hunting into a jungle. He doesn't see any animal, but he hears a sound of dried leaves and sticks breaking thanks to his ear sensitivity. Then he acts in a trice and kills the animal. Through the ear sensitivity, he has done a grave sin of killing an animal. Suppose there is one hermit in the jungle who hears the sound of a trapped animal. As soon as the wailing sound of the animal touches the ear sensitivity of the hermit's ear, there arises a figureless signal which would form up ear consciousness and then a number of meritorious or kusal consciousness one after the other arise, which would definitely create a meritorious act by taking the trapped animal out of the snare. The next organ is nose, which has a special shine inside of the nose similar in appearance to the hoof of a goat but very very small. This nose sensitivity too is a tenfold nose sensitivity group, nose decad or Ghana Prasada Rupaya, which is the instrument or device for the nose door thought process or Ghana Dwara Viti to arise. Unless somebody has the shine in this part of the nose, his or her nose consciousness never arises and becomes lack of many advantages one may entertain by having ability of smelling. The shine that is found at the posterior portion of the tongue in the shape of the upper part of a torn lotus petal is the sensitive part in the tongue. When food and drinks touch this shine on the tongue, there arises a figureless signal which implies the human that this is bitter, sour, sweet, or heat. Then the tongue consciousness or the jivha vijnana originates, and the bearer or the owner of the tongue sometimes may engage in some type of an activity related to moral or immoral spheres. Then the commencing basis of that act is the tongue sensitivity. Finally comes the body sensitivity or the kaya prasada rupaya, which identifies and objectifies the patavi or earth element, tejo or heat element, and vayu or wind element in the universe. This is also a shine remains all over the bodies of sattva, living beings including humans. In human body, this body sensitivity is diffused all over, except on hair, on the tips of nails, and in withered skin. When hardness or softness, heat or cold, and pressure touches the body, there arises a figureless signal which creates body consciousness. So the body sensitivity is the instrument or the device for the body thought process or kaya dvara viti. Now we are completely aware that there are 5 sensitivities in the human body, namely eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. There is another word we can use to introduce these 5 sensitivities as decad, meaning decade, to say that it is a collection of 10. Every material we find in these decades are very short-lived, arising at the first tiny instant of consciousness or small thought moment, existing for 49 tiny instants of consciousness or small thought moments, and vanishing at the 51st tiny instant or small thought moment. All decades or tenfold sensitivity groups are newly formed up again at the same place at the 52nd tiny instant or small thought moment. The color, the sound, the smell, the taste, and the tangibilities that come from outside as objects of the above sensitivities are the food required for the sensitivities to act and live further. In another way, they are sense stimuli or sense fields which serve as supports for the sense cognitions to arise. One becomes sense stimuli for the eye decad, sound for the ear decad, taste for the tongue decad, odor or the olfactive objects for the nose decad, pottabha or tangibilities for the body sensitivity. When these types of stimuli are not found, there is no point of having sensitivities or prasada rupa in those places. They would die for want of stimulus, such as one of color, sound, taste, smell, and tangibilities. These tangibilities should be thoroughly discussed. From Patavi or earth element, when further explained, element of hardness or the earth, the great essential, the warmth or cold of fire element, and pressure of water element becomes stimuli of body sensitivity. These prasada rupa or sensitivities with their stimulus can be marked as follows. Patavi Dhatu or earth element, Tejo Dhatu or fire element, Vayu Dhatu or air element are identified by body sensitivity. So Kaya Prasad or body sensitivity receives the above stimulus and acts accordingly. These stimulus are named as tangibles. They are not separate matters that come as color, sound, taste, or smell to collide with eye, ear, tongue, and nose. The hardness of earth element, cold or heat of fire element, and pressure of air element are tangible to body or kaya. Then these tangibles are named as gochara rupa, which means that these matters become food to the body or identified by the body, and subsequently kaya vijnana or body consciousness arises after several steps. In the same manner, color or visible objects, sound or audible objects, odors or olfactive objects, or smells, in other words, gustative objects or objects that produce taste, become food to the eye, ear, nose, and tongue sensitivities. Without these stimulus, the sense organs, the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, and the body would be starved, gradually fade away, and eventually die. So, every inch of human body other than nails and hair, the eye, the ear, the nose, and the tongue, take hardness, softness, heat or cold, pressure, color, sound, smell, and taste as meals to live on and make respective consciousness arise, and after several steps create moral acts, immoral acts, or other acts which are neither moral nor immoral. Now it is time for us to revise what we have so far discussed. Briefly, firstly we took pure eightfold group or Suddhastaka. The contents are four great essentials: earth element, water element, fire element, wind element, and their derivatives color, smell, taste, and nutriment. They are some kind of energy and actions. They constitute the pure eightfold groups, then clusters, and finally the non-living substances, no matter how they are large as oceans, mountains, and small as needles. Then we took vitality or jivita rupaya that gives life to all living things after making ninefold vitality groups. When the 28 matters are taken for discussion, they are divided into 11 sections. Of these 11 sections, we have discussed 3 sections up to now. The 4 great essentials, which are called Mahabhuta, then the 5 sense organs or sense phenomena. They are physical forms known as Prasada Rupa. These are eye sensitivity, ear sensitivity, nose sensitivity, tongue sensitivity, and body sensitivity. In the third section, we find objective phenomena or 5 sense spheres or Gochara Rupa in Pali. They are visible form, sound, smell, taste, and tangibility. This tangibility has been taken for discussion already. It is not taken as a separate matter since it represents earth element, fire element, and air element. In the earlier discussion, we took Paricheda Akasha for thorough study. In that manner, we have handled 13 Rupa or matter in this both discussions. Our next study tends to Bhava Rupa or individual characteristic of male and female. This can be called as sex distinction or sexual phenomena. This phenomena in human is originated by karma performed while having willingness for sexual pleasure. This masculinity or femininity is diffused all over the body just as the body sensitivity does. The body of a male carries the features of masculinity with relevant marks, signs, work, and ways, while the female body does those of a female which are inherent to fair sex. The masculinity is called as Purishindriya and femininity is called as Itindriya, as they both affect the characteristic they possess on their bodies. These two phenomena are not permanent in the human being that possess such. At the relink in consciousness, the human being receives this phenomena depending on the wholesome and unwholesome acts he or she committed in the previous soul. The second discussion on aggregate of matter is over. You can expect the third discussion on the same subject next month. May all attain Nibbana in the Samma Sambuddha Gautama's order itself. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.